talking about Jeremiah and perseverance. In Jeremiah chapter 1, we read about a man called Jeremiah who's being called by God to be a prophet to the nation of Israel at the time. Jeremiah's reaction to this is kind of to be expected. It's one of, I can't do this, I'm too young, I'm not able to speak. And in response to this, God replies with this. I'm going to read it, the verse. God responds by saying, "Don't say I'm too young. Go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you to. Don't be afraid of anyone, for I'm with you and I'll rescue you." It then says God puts his own words in Jeremiah's mouth. The message that God gives Jeremiah to bring to the nation of Israel is one of judgment, but also one of hope. The nation of Israel at the time had turned against God and turned to things like false idols, things like child sacrifice and all these pagan rituals that they shouldn't have been doing. Throughout the book, Jeremiah uses the imagery of a wife who has cheated on her husband to show how much God is grieved by what the nation of Israel has done. But that isn't all that Jeremiah is told by God. He also mentions that the Babylonians themselves are going to be punished by the Persians for what they've done, and also that there's redemption and hope for the Israelites to be redeemed back to him afterwards as well. So Jeremiah has huge perseverance throughout the whole book. When the leaders of Israel receive any of the words from Jeremiah about the incoming judgment that they're about to receive, they understandably don't take it very well. So Jeremiah has to go through a number of things, like he is put in prison, he has death threats on his life, all by the Israelite leaders at the time. After this, Jeremiah questions God about this, and God actually tells him that things are going to get better before they get worse. But throughout all this, Jeremiah's perseverance is routed in his hope. The reason that he can persevere through everything that he does from both the Israelites and the Babylonians is because he has hope in what God has told him, and he trusts that it is true.
Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. For by it the people of old received their commendation. For by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not your own doing, it is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. So I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air, but I discipline my body and keep it under control, lest, after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith.
So in Jeremiah 29:11, which is probably one of the most famous Bible verses, God reminds Jeremiah that he will restore Israel and that he has a hope and a future for their nation. Not only redemption from the Babylonian Empire and their current suffering, but in fact that he has a plan to redeem Israel and all the nations as a whole forever from sin. And that plan is Jesus. Through Jesus, God plans to become a human himself and to deal with their sin once and for all by dying on the cross. Not just for their current situation and their current suffering, but throughout all of time, and even for us as well, that our hope and our perseverance through no matter what we're going through is because Jesus is our hope, and because we can trust that what he says is true.